Okay, so welcome to English and Maths. My name is Jane Snedden and I'm head of the department. And what I'm going to do this morning is just talk you through, I've got some PowerPoint slides that I hope that you can see. And what I'm going to do is talk you through those, and any questions that anybody has got, if you could put that in the chat, which I can see, or if you could send me an email or one of my deputies. So just sort of working through with English and Maths, we have a department that we deliver GCSE English and GCSE Maths. We also deliver functional skills, which are qualifications that are recognised by employers and further education establishments and some higher education establishments. And these range from entry level up to level 2. We also do English for speakers of other languages, and we have reading, writing and speaking and listening throughout the year. We're really pleased as well that we do AS Maths for engineering and motorsport in Chippenham, and we actually are now doing A-level maths for computer science in Salisbury. The department, we have 4 campuses, and in the department we have 40 more English and Maths lecturers across those 4 campuses, so quite a big department. We have a literacy and numeracy mentor on each of our campuses, and they help support our teachers and students within the classroom, but also they do some out-of-class sessions if students need extra support. And we work very closely with our learning support department and also with vocational areas. So we try and link with both areas to get the maximum support for students and make it as relevant as we can. So what sort of students have we got? Well, most of the people, the students that we have are 16 to 19-year-olds. And the reason they come to our college is they come to do a vocational subject such as brick, hairdressing, art, IT, business qualifications. But some of them need to do their English and Maths. And what we find is those are the main students during the day that we're delivering our provision to. But we do have adults and we offer part-time study. So these could be parents, they could be carers, they could be just generally 19 plus. Often we get people that have maybe they've been at college and they haven't achieved their English and Maths, and they come back when they're a bit older because they realise that once they get out into the big wide world, employers do actually want these subjects and they need to come back. But we also do ESOL, and we have quite a good provision of ESOL across 3 of our campuses, not in Lackham, but in the other 3 campuses. And that's part-time. They do 2 sessions a week. They can do evening, they can do daytime. But we also have 16 to 19-year-old ESOL provision, which is quite unusual. So those are students that maybe it's better off for them to come into the college, into an ESOL study programme, rather than stay at school, so that they really get to grips with the language, and then they can progress within our college or elsewhere. In fact, last year we had one of our students has gone off to Bath Uni, so he's progressed all the way through. So our main students, we call their main study programmes, so they come in to do a vocational subject, but we have some government requirements with the college, with all colleges in FE, and the students who don't get a grade 4, which would have been a C grade, if they don't get a C at the previous one, but now it's grade 4, then they must continue their English and Maths. That's the government funding requirement. So what we do in our college is we say that students with a grade 3, they have to do GCSE. We don't have a choice, and they don't have a choice. So the idea is that they are working towards achieving at least a grade 4. In maths, we do what we call the foundation tier, and that they can get a 4, they can get a 5, is the highest within the foundation tier. If to get higher than that, they would need to do the higher tier, and we do offer that to some students, mainly the engineering students, because they need that to progress within the college. But that would be in the higher tier maths. With English, it's the exams take you up to grade 9. So actually, the students, if they work really hard and they are able, they could get a grade 9 in their English GCSE with us, and we do get some that get 9s. Students with a grade 2 in their GCSE or below, it's much better for them to work towards English and maths, the skills, to really sort of consolidate skills, because they've probably missed out on these at school. And we do functional skills qualifications. And the idea really is to get them towards the level 2. And the great thing now is that the level 2 counts towards them really completing their programme of English and maths. They don't have to then progress into GCSE. And the level 2 is rated by employers and other establishments, FE, and also HE establishments. So that's great, because once students get a level 2, they can make the choice as to whether they stay going on to GCSE, or they can just stop, and that's and they've got their qualification. And actually, that really is what apprentices need to get as well. So that sort of helps with that. The main study programme students, how do we teach them? Well, who are they really, and how are we trying to teach them? Because they don't really want to do these subjects, because they've done it time and time again. So they haven't enjoyed English and maths, most of them at school, and they don't have confidence in the subjects. They've also, there's additional barriers that they've had, some of them, and but our lecturers are very aware of that. We've got some very experienced lecturers who've been with us quite a while now, and really it's about giving them that additional support and encouragement, and it's an opportunity for students to start really on a new start with us. So what are we doing at the minute? Because it's not easy at the moment with lockdowns, with COVID. Usually we would want 3 hours of English each week and 3 hours of maths each week. What we've had to do this year is that we've had to have an hour and a half, 90 minutes of online teaching sessions in small groups. And this is all to do with when students come in, they have to stay in their vocational bubbles. So it's difficult with English and maths because we cross bubbles. So this is all online. Some of it we're trying to get face-to-face, and we are doing some face-to-face. But we do expect them to do some independent study, and that can be quite difficult to motivate them to do that. That's like a homework type of work, and we have something called eStudy, which is our online platform. And we're looking at our delivery model because we're realising with our students and with our staff that really teaching is about face-to-face, and we're trying to get more and more to come in, and they would need, they'd come in to do that and then also do some of this blended learning, which we call private self-study. We also deliver to adults, and it's really to encourage any parents or carers or any adults, if you're coming in, to think about whether you want to do any of our evening classes or daytime classes. So we have GCSE, we have functional skills, but we also have distance learning courses, and they're really taking off through these lockdowns. We have the ESOL classes are for, as I said earlier, for adults and also for 16 to 19 year olds. The 16 to 19 year olds, actually, we have a sort of wider curriculum for them, and they can sort of see what a vocational area is like. They do some IT, and they also do some maths. So it's quite a nice programme for them, and that brings them in into an environment where they're sort of nurtured with their English, and they do really well actually with us. So it's really just to put forward how important English and maths is. It helps our students towards their vocational courses, so the better they get at our subjects, then the better they do in vocational. Helps them with their future employment, and certainly with apprenticeships, because if they achieve their functional skills, they've actually done what they need to do for their, for English and maths with their apprenticeship. And it will also get them into higher education in some establishments. What we're doing in English is it's improving core skills, reading, writing, speaking, listening and communication. So we have assessments in all of those. And in the maths, of course, it's number, data handling, measurement, money management, shape and space. So we have a curriculum that we work through in the year, just like they would in school, but we do tend to find that students actually prefer coming to college than in school, and often when I ask them those sorts of questions, they do say that they prefer the college much better than school. We do have smaller groups, and they feel that they're sort of all similar. So there's no sort of there's differentiation in the classes, but they feel that they're supported, I think. In each of the campuses, we have a deputy, and they're on each campus, and they're sort of in charge of all the teaching staff there. They work under me. And so what I've done here is just put some contact details. My contact details you will have when you've come into the talk, but these are the contact details for the deputies. So at Chippenham, we have Sarah Good. At Lackham, we have Dave Lewis. Salisbury, we have Steve Barney. And Trowbridge, I actually have two deputies, but Kay Davies would be probably the person to contact there. So thank you for your interest in English and maths. I hope that it's been informative. If you want to ask any questions, if you think of something at a later stage, we often get questions, obviously at the moment, about the GCSE. We've just done November resits, and we had about 400 students who took part in that. So we ran that for them, and we're waiting for results. Will come through in early February. But of course, we have the GCSEs at the moment in this country are planned for May and June. But we also do assessments constantly, because last year or this year for the GCSE, we had to do centre assessment grading, and we used all the assessments we were doing for that. So if anybody does have any questions, please either email me or if you can put something in the chat, I will stay here until 25 past. Thank you.